Welcome everyone, and I hope all of you are having a great morning. My name is Sadia Mughal. This colloquium serves as a forum to reflect, reimagine, and recalibrate how we integrate AI across disciplines, and more importantly, how we do so responsibly, ethically, and inclusively. I believe that we are going to have a session full of insightful dialogues. It is my great pleasure to introduce our very first panelist, Honorable Mr. Gibran Jamshed, Country Education Lead at Microsoft Pakistan. Our next panelist for this session is our Honorable Professor Dr. Syed Sajjad Hussain Rizvi, Head of the Department Robotics and AI, Zabis University, Karachi. I am very delighted to introduce our third panelist in line, Honorable Dr. Syed Nadeem Ahsan. About him, he currently serves as the head of the research lab on AI and software engineering known as RAISE. To start our conversation, I would like to start with Mr. Gibran Jamshed with the opening question. Sir, what does responsible AI look like in practice across your domain?
So first and foremost, thank you for having me around. It's such a distinguished forum, and I have my paper and pen ready to, I think, take a lot of action pointers and to learn it all from the academia. So that's the mindset which creates the difference, right? When we engage with any partners, so the mindset is not that we know it all, right? We know a few things, but I think the mindset through which we walk in any room is that today I will learn it all. And that is a game changer. जो आपने responsible AI की बात की और उससे पहले I was looking at the questions, right? You briefly touched upon the culture as well. And जो culture है, and I'll take a couple of minutes, right? It is that invisible infrastructure of any organization today कि जो शायद आपको नज़र नहीं आता, but if that infrastructure fractures, then no strategy, no amount of headcount, no investments, consultants can pull you apart, right? Then nobody can save you. And when people take a benchmark when it comes to a company like Microsoft, so we have openly documented all these things, right? There's a book called Hit Refresh by our CEO, Satya Nadella, in which he explains when he was given the charge of Microsoft, right, back in 2014, we were in crisis at that point in time, and today we are leading the world when it comes to cloud computing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, innovation, digitization, whatever paradigm or pillar you want to pick across. And the work which has happened in last 1 decade plus at the company, that has happened around culture. And this innovation is a result of that very strong culture and the growth mindset which the company has. So people invite us to have this consulting or advisory talks and discussions कि जी हमें बताएं कि हम अपनी strategy के ऊपर क्या कर सकते हैं. And the first point which we always make is that let us work on the culture, because at any given day, culture eats strategy for the breakfast. That is given in any organization. तो एक तो ये बड़ा point which I wanted to establish, and I know I have to pass the mic along. जो आपने बड़ा particular सवाल पूछा है responsible usage of AI के ऊपर, and that is where you have hit the nail, especially the business school, right? Because AI की adoption market में, organizations में तभी हो सकती है if it is used responsibly and ethically, and this is what we all understand. वरना AI सिर्फ एक ऐसा टूल जनरेटिव AI रह जाएगा कि जो शायद हम अपनी कंज्यूमर लाइफ में, पर्सनल लाइफ में तो इस्तेमाल करेंगे, बट व्हेन यू वुड वांट टू पुट इट एट वर्क, राइट, आप उससे हेल्प लेना चाहते हैं. आज इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर कस्टमर सपोर्ट का फंक्शन है, यू वांट टू ऑटोमेट दैट कस्टमर सपोर्ट फंक्शन, राइट, you would not be able to do it unless and until the AI implementation is done in a responsible and ethical manner. और ये है क्या? Because everybody is talking about responsible usage of AI. पर वो क्या चीज़ें हैं जो हमें इंश्योर करनी है किसी भी AI सिस्टम से या environment से कि ये रिस्पॉन्सिबल यूजेज की कैटेगरी में फॉल करे. And I think responsible usage of AI is not the responsibility of technology makers or governments. It is a shared responsibility. ठीक है, as the technology vendor or a creator of that technology, we have put in certain guardrails, right, which are stopping you to use these AI systems in a certain way. And we are doing our part. जो हमारी philosophy है, वो controls हमने लगाए हुए हैं. You can read through that. I would not take time to explain those controls. But when you are doing any project around AI, you have to make sure, and we have to make sure, कि सबसे पहली चीज़ जो मैडम ने बात की, that is inclusion. The work which we are trying to do is not leaving anybody behind. It is accessible and it is inclusive. ये first grounding principle है. Second is that AI should be used for good, in the meaningful way, to enhance the dignity of mankind. We are entering into the 5th industrial revolution, where they say it's a future where humans and machines would dance together. And this is where the dignity should not be compromised at all. If it is happening, that system should go down. It should not see light of the day. AI की जो literacy है, इस पे काम करने की ज़रूरत है. So आपने मैडम बात की थी कि जी क्या ऐसी चीज़ें हैं. So I think everybody is using LinkedIn today. Everybody sitting in this room. LinkedIn का component है LinkedIn Learning, which comes at a cost, right? Courses और certifications की cost होती है. But there are certain critical skills for jobs which are available at no cost at LinkedIn today. Courses and certifications both. It includes at least 4 to 5 certifications around artificial intelligence, career essentials in artificial intelligence, AI for executives, AI for managers, and a couple of others which I don't recall right now. So on LinkedIn Learning, there is free content and free certification available, and millions of learners are taking the benefit out of it. And when it comes to AI, I think जो level है, it's a flat level. एक university के बच्चे की भी आज वही understanding है जो मेरी understanding है 20 साल के career के बाद. Because technology has massively changed. Unless and until I'll go back to the drawing board and I'll do this career essentials in AI course, probably I would not be able to contribute in a better way. And then I would again come to any talk with the mindset that I know it all, because मैंने AI bachelor's में भी पढ़ी पाकिस्तान में, बाहर masters में भी पढ़ी थी अपने. Change हो चुका है 20 साल 25 साल में पूरा ecosystem. So literacy is something which is very important. And then few things very quickly. जो AI के systems हैं, one needs to ensure they are fair. Fairness is a criteria, mandatory criteria. They are accountable, because if an AI system is grading us, right, and is telling कि जी जिब्रान साहब का B grade है, so then the question should be asked to an AI system कि A grade क्यों नहीं है और C grade क्यों नहीं है, B grade ही क्यों है, and वो auditable हो, वो traceable हो, that should be accountable, that should be answerable. So जहाँ पे आपने fairness की बात की, वहाँ पे आपने accountability की बात की, ट्रांसपेरेंसी वहाँ पे सामने आ जाती है. सिस्टम शुड नॉट बी अ ब्लैक बॉक्स फॉर एनीवन. सिस्टम जो है वो बड़ा ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, सो दैट पीपल कैन अर्न द ट्रस्ट ऑन AI. एंड कपल ऑफ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग्स जिसमें आपके पास आ जाता है, एंड आई हैव रिटन दिस डाउन. यस, रिलायबिलिटी एंड सिक्योरिटी. It's very, very critical, because AI is living upon data. And if the privacy is not taken care of, then it's a problem. If systems are not functioning reliably and they are not secure, it's a big problem. And obviously, last point is that we all are very much vested today in climate change and sustainability. So it should be eco-friendly as well. Last बात मैं करूँगा इस पे कि Microsoft का ये पूरा responsible AI का एक framework है. I will share these notes with you. So you can take that as an inspiration and you can build upon it. जो Microsoft का responsible AI का framework है. And then now in some parts of the world, AI acts and legislations are also being enforced. जो EU का AI Act है, वो बताता है कि EU की जो jurisdiction है, उसके बीच में AI किस तरह इस्तेमाल होगी, किन चीज़ों में नहीं इस्तेमाल होगी, किन चीज़ों में अप्रूवल लेके इस्तेमाल होगी गवर्नमेंट का, किन चीज़ों में विद कॉशन इस्तेमाल होगी, क्या वो चीज़ें हैं जिसमें आप इजीली कर सकते हैं, सो दैट यू स्टार्ट विद दोज यूज केसेस विच आर नॉट वेरी sensitive and they are not very high impact. So this is how I think we need to start with the journey. Thank you.
Floor is open for the audience. Quick show of hands, please. First, you would like to introduce yourself briefly, then you can ask any questions.
So recently, Stanford University, USA released a report on AI. Harvard has also released such a report. So Stanford University says that USA leads the world by introducing 40 AI-based new models. China leads with 15 and then Europe with 3. So what type of AI models are those 40? So it's a huge number. And the second question is from Dr. Sajjad Rizvi. So are there any startups in Pakistan that are working on AI? So because here there are some companies that are working on marketing data analytics, but are there any startups that are working in AI?
Ji.
Yes.
And I'll briefly, मैं जवाब दे दूँ इसका quickly, right? So I can share with you कि बहुत सारी leading companies हैं, right, which have got their own language models. They are large language models, they are small language models as well, जो generative AI को fuel in कर रहे हैं. So you start from OpenAI to Microsoft, you go to Google, you go to NVIDIA, you go to a French company Mistral, आप चाइना में चले जाएं, DeepSeek, and the list of these companies go on and on. दो sources मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ if you want to double click on this one. Hugging Face is an open source community. जिस तरह GitHub है ना developers की code exchange करने की open source community, इस तरह Hugging Face is a community and we are partners with them. There you would find a lot of models and data sets out there. दूसरा Microsoft का एक cloud based AI infrastructure है which is called AI Foundry. You spoke about 50 models out there, right? 40 or 50. Microsoft का जो AI Foundry है उस पे 1820 या 1815 1800 plus models इस वक्त पड़े में हैं. And those models they are coming in from dozens of different companies across the world. China का DeepSeek model से लेके, which is I think very much in the talks, to OpenAI models, to Microsoft own model, and to NVIDIA's and Mistral's and Meta, Facebook की जो parent company है, उसके models. You would find 1800 plus models out there, and you can immediately start using it for your academic and research purposes, right? And every model would offer different sort of flexibilities and things. जिस तरह phones के आज आप लेने जाते हैं तो बेतहाशा phone के options होते हैं, इसी तरह AI के models के भी options हैं which you can click. And the last point, in the interest of time, आपने startups की बात की. I don't have a data on the startups in Pakistan, but I can tell you a very excellent resource called Founders Hub. ये Microsoft का program है, Founders Hub. So if you have an AI startup, your university has got a startup, you would enroll in, not only to get free Microsoft software and cloud services, but also to get support, advice and mentorship and to connect with the world. The Founders Hub is that platform which is empowering the startups across the world, and Microsoft is backing that up. I'll pause.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Isma Zegam, Dr. Isma Zegam, and I am a faculty member of FMS. Gibran Saab, there is this one dilemma in a way and an opportunity in another way that I am facing as an academician. So while we talk about responsible AI, for example, one thing which is being continuously on deterioration is the critical thinking among our students. One probable among many reasons, one reason is the use of ChatGPT or DeepSeek. So how do you think, they are two part of my question, how responsible this AI theme is towards this deterioration of critical thinking, like what's being done in the broader perspective? Number two is how you people are like working with academia towards the capacity building maybe of the faculty members, how to actually, because we cannot remove this from the system, it's part of the system, but what about the capacity building of the faculty, because they have to inculcate this critical thinking among the students so that one day when they'll be sitting alongside you, so they'll be able to understand what is the need of that at that point in time. Thank you.
So things which a machine is doing today and automating it, unfortunately, those jobs would go out from the market. आप industrial revolutions देख लें, first, second, third, and we are now in the fourth industrial revolution. Moving to fifth industrial revolution, jobs जाती हैं, ज़्यादा jobs create होती हैं. 80 million jobs लोग predict करते हैं AI की वजह से जाएंगी, तो 100 million new jobs create होंगी, जो net new job market है वो grow करेगी. So I would focus on things which I can control, and I would focus on the jobs and the new era of jobs, and I would prepare my students for those new era of jobs. And those new era of jobs are those where humans and machines would work together, and AI would augment the capability of AI would be augmented intelligence, where it would augment the capability of any person which is sitting there, right? अब ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो सारी की सारी jobs जो हैं वो software developers की हों, IT के around भी jobs होंगी, and in every second industry these jobs will be created. इस पे बहुत ज़्यादा research LinkedIn पे और different forums पे available है, the future of job market, right? AI is a reality. 80% of people at workplace, they are using AI, and unfortunately those things which AI can do, probably you would not need a human for that, those things. इसी तरह जो academic आपकी वो है pedagogical जो process है, it has to change, it has to reboot. I was at this National Skilling Council meeting last week where the IT Minister chairs that, and it was the feedback was same कि हमें अब सिर्फ वो टॉप अप करने का टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास कि हम 4 साल कोई ऐसी चीज़ पढ़ें और पढ़ाएं जो जिसकी अब ज़रूरत नहीं है मार्केट में, और आखिरी 3 महीने में हम वो कोर्सेज लेकर आएँ. दे वुड नॉट चेंज द गेम. We have to go back to the drawing board and we have to revise everything from the beginning, so that जब 4 साल एक बच्चा इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है वो 4 साल बड़े प्रोडक्टिव हों. मैडम की बात है कि जी बाहर जो बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं, लीडिंग यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं, वो क्या कर रही हैं, उसको रेप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं. कंपनीज लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट है, सर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का एक फ्रेमवर्क है 21st सेंचुरी लर्निंग डिज़ाइन का, which is telling teachers how you can bring AI to enhance critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, all these C's of 21st century in the classroom. But with due respect, I think it would not happen in a way कि जी 4 साल पढ़ा के बच्चे को फिर कोर्सेज करा दें पेरेंट्स या यूनिवर्सिटी. It would not solve the puzzle for me at least. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Dr. Samina Riaz and I am from Bahria University. Mr. Gibran, you have implied about the limited infrastructure and cloud access. So my question is this: what regulatory and infrastructure changes are required to scale the AI adoption in Pakistan?
Right. So you can take a small start from any company or any organization, right? जो core strategy का pillars हैं, the game plan. We spoke about culture, we spoke about the strategy, because culture क्यों ज़रूरी है इस पर I think बात हो गई है. I would not repeat myself. Strategy के साथ AI का linkage जैसे ज़रूरी है जो मैडम ने कहा था. Technology would not survive alone in the industry, right? It has to solve the use cases. एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं एकेडमिया के बाहर कमर्शियल मार्केट की. आई गो टू एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एनी फार्मा और एनी FMCG और एनी बैंक और एनी टेलको टुडे, दे आर ओनली इंटरेस्टेड इन 3 conversations, right? हाउ कैन यू हेल्प मी मेक मोर मनी, हाउ कैन यू हेल्प मी सेव मनी, या फिर आप मेरा ब्रांड और ऊपर जो इम्पैक्ट है उसको किस तरह ग्लोरीफाई करेंगे. आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द 4th क्वेश्चन. AI कितना भी अच्छा हो, क्लाउड कितना भी अच्छा हो, but if businesses are not able to help to generate revenues or to save on their bottom line, it would not be helpful. तो जो business strategy है, AI has to correlate that very tightly with that. उसके बाद जो organization में किसी भी technology को roll out करने के लिए 2 चीज़ें आपको बड़े important चाहिए. Skill talent चाहिए. If the talent is not there, then it would not see light of the day. चेंज मैनेजमेंट, मुझे नहीं पता पाकिस्तान में से पढ़ाया जा रहा है नहीं पढ़ाया जा रहा. जैसे प्रोसाई का है, अपने सर्टिफिकेशन स्कीम ही है अभी कुछ सालों से. इवन कंपनीज लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, व्हेन वी आर रोलिंग आउट चेंज इनसाइड द कंपनी, आप देखें बहुत बड़ा चेंज आया 10 साल में. वी हैव लिटरली रीबूटेड आवर कंपनी, एंड दैट हैज हैपेंड ऑन अ वेरी साइंटिफिक प्रोसेस, और जिस पे लोगों को तैयार किया गया इंटरनल. वी हायर बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट टैलेंट इन द वर्ल्ड. उसके बाद भी ज़रूरत पड़ी कि लोग समझें चेंज मैनेजमेंट है क्या. So we all went and for example Microsoft में employees ने प्रोसाई के जो चेंज मैनेजमेंट की सर्टिफिकेशंस की और फिर चेंज मैनेजमेंट ऑफिस सेटअप हुए, उन्होंने चेंज को रोल आउट किया. बिकॉज चेंज को रोल आउट करना भी बड़ा मुश्किल है. आप कह दें अवेयरनेस नहीं है, डिज़ायर नहीं है, नॉलेज नहीं है, एबिलिटी चाहिए, उसकी रीइंफोर्समेंट चाहिए, मल्टीपल लेयर्स हैं चेंज मैनेजमेंट की. एंड देन जो आपने बात की कि जी गवर्नेंस क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है. गवर्नेंस इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स हैं people have put the AI tools in the organizations. मैं limited example दूंगा. And they say कि जी AI tools are leaking the data. आप जाएं articles पढ़ें internet पे. AI tools are not leaking the data. Problem ये है कि वो data कभी classified और secure था ही नहीं. आपको अपनी आंख से नज़र नहीं आता था, आप उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर पाते थे. जब आपने AI टूल को कहा क्रॉल करो, ग्राउंड करो और लर्न करो, तो अगर उसको एक्सेस मिली भी थी उस फाइल की, उसने लर्न किया और आपको रिजल्ट निकाल के दे दिया. सो अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में साइबर सिक्योरिटी का, डेटा प्रिवेसी का, आपका डेटा क्लासिफिकेशन का, डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग का, डेटा स्ट्रैटेजी का, अगर डेटा मैनेज नहीं है, सो डेटा अगर आपका अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड है, साइलो से अवेलेबल नहीं है, सो AI would blow up in a way which will be an embarrassment. फिर होता ये कि आपने AI का टूल डाला, उसने वो काम कर दिया जो नहीं होना चाहिए था, एंड देन पीपल would say कि नहीं जी हमें तो AI इस्तेमाल नहीं करनी है. हमें AI इस्तेमाल करनी है पर अपने डेटा की एक स्ट्रैटेजी डिफाइन करके, उसकी सिक्योरिटी और क्लासिफिकेशन डिफाइन करके. एंड वंस दिस इज डन, देन द डिस्कशन कम्स अप कि जी गूगल का AI लगाना है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का लगाना है, NVIDIA का लगाना है, मेटा का लगाना है, एंड वी होस्ट 1800 प्लस मॉडल. सो वी से कि आपको जिसका लगाना है लगाएं, बिकॉज टुडे वी एक्ट एज अ मार्केट प्लेस फॉर AI. All these models of the world, they are available on our Foundry, which is like a workshop of AI, right? That's a developer environment. जिस तरह Visual Studio होता था कोडिंग के लिए, अब इस तरह Azure AI Foundry है, वो Visual Studio आप समझ लें AI का. ये थॉट है.
I really appreciate your insights, sir, and the inputs that we just got from the audience. But as we are taking on the time, so we have to move forward to our next panelist in line, Dr. Syed Nadeem Ahsan. Sir, I would like to ask, how can we foster a culture of ethical AI innovation without stifling creativity? What's your thought on that?
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to say thanks for inviting me in this occasion, and I am very grateful to join the session. The question is very interesting, that how can we foster a culture of ethical AI innovation without stifling creativity?
Yes.
Before answering this question, I would like to give you a brief description about the environment which I am working, and then I will relate that environment with the answer to answer this question. Okay. As my colleague told you, that the important thing is that when you are working in any organizations, then what are the attitudes of people who are working in that organization, whether they want to use AI or not. So it's a big question. Since I am working in the power industry, as you know, that in the introduction section, and I spent about 20 years to work in that industry, and I learned a lot that we have a lot of huge amount of data. When we are running a power plants, you know that there are thousands of parameters, and those parameters are accumulated through different data acquisition techniques, and they use different methods to store that data, and they took the decision. But when we asked them to, why not you use this different approach, AI approach, to improve your decision for decision support system, so most of the time I got the answer that they are very reluctant because they don't rely on AI. Why? Because AI is a data-driven science. I know that most of you already know that. It is not actually they depend on the those science equations, transportation theories, which is well defined, well practiced already, and they are totally depend on that theory to take the decisions to run the plant. Although on the other sides, data science have evolved, and we know that initially we have a lot of challenges in data science or machine learning, because data science or machine learning do not have specific equations or methods. Actually, they derive from input data. You have to collect the data from different resources with different methods, and then you have to check that whether this data is applicable for your model or not. And this is a deterministic, not a deterministic approach, this is a probabilistic approach. So that's why in some industries, these methods are not still, we are facing a lot of problems, we have a lot of challenges to apply this method. Although we know that AI plays a vital role in coming years, and still we see that a lot of challenges and a lot of innovation work is going on in that directions, and AI continuously evolve. So one important area in AI or machine learning is the data. And once you have the data, you have to consider that this data is maybe belongs to some other industry or some other organization. So you have to be ensured that the security or whatever the privacy of that data, because maybe that data is very important for those organization industry, and you have to use some rules and regulations to use those data. So the first thing is that in order to perform some innovation or research work, you need data, and if data is not easily available, then what I am seeing that most of the researchers use some simulation techniques to generate data, which is definitely not a good idea. Somehow it is a good idea that you can use simulation for a small scale, but once you have built a model and you want to sell those model for any organization, and that organization depend on those model to take some decisions. So in this case, you have to be very careful that, and you must use some reliable, you must say that how you drive those data. So ये नॉर्मली मैंने बहुत ऑब्जर्व किया है ड्यूरिंग रिसर्च में भी कि लोग अपने जो डाटा की एथिक्स जो है उसको बहुत ज़्यादा कंसिडर नहीं करते, बट वी हैव टू टेक दिस very seriously, that whenever we are saying something that we have developed models, so we must ensure that how we collect this data, and we must have security and reliability of that data. Because this method, the model जो AI या मशीन लर्निंग का मॉडल होता है, टोटली डिपेंड करता है डाटा पे. डाटा ड्रिवन साइंस है. अगर आपने डाटा को किसी तरह से मैनिपुलेट कर लिया टू गेट द बेटर रिजल्ट्स, बिकॉज नॉर्मली अब रिसर्च में हम यही करते हैं कि अगर हमारे पास डाटा नहीं आ रहा तो हम उसको थोड़ा सा चेंज भी कर लेते हैं, मॉडिफाई कर लेते हैं, और ये हमारे मॉडल को इसको इतना आसानी से कोई पकड़ नहीं सकता है क्योंकि आपके पास डाटा होता है. तो इसके लिए डेफिनेटली ये बहुत से वर्कआउट हो रहे हैं. बहुत से ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो कि इन चीज़ों को बड़े सीरियसली नोट कर रहे होते हैं कि डाटा की वैलिडिटी को चेक किया जाए, इन्फॉर्म किया जाए. सेकंड ये है कि ज़ाहिर बात है इसमें बहुत से चैलेंजेस भी हैं, जिसमें अभी इन्होंने कहा है कि अगर हम बहुत ज़्यादा, जैसे हमारी इंडस्ट्री में होता है कि डाटा को वो रिलीज़ नहीं करते, अगर वो रिलीज़ नहीं करेंगे तो हम किस तरह से फर्दर इनोवेशन काम कर सकते हैं. तो वी नीड डाटा इन सम वे. तो इनिशियली व्हाट वी डू, इफ़ आई हैव सम दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ इश्यूज, देन नॉर्मली हम ये करते हैं कि सिमुलेशन करके डाटा जनरेट करते हैं एंड देन डिस्प्ले करते हैं अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को जो लीडिंग रोल्स रखते हैं उनको, कि दिस इज़ द वे वी acquire the data and now we can apply this technique on to provide the solution. But you know that the issue is that there are some industries, still there are some industry, they don't want to share their data because of some security issues, and there are some other issues because they are very reluctant. Because आपको पता है कि जब ये डाटा देते हैं तो उस डाटा के अंदर बहुत सी इन्फॉर्मेशन होती है कि प्लांट में क्या क्या इंसिडेंट हुआ था, क्या इवेंट हुए थे. अब वो बड़े कंजर्वेटिव माइंड के होते हैं, वो दे डोंट वांट टू शेयर दोज डाटा. तो दिस इज़ द मेजर चैलेंज कि अगर उनको कोई इस तरह पॉलिसी हो, कोई इस तरह की हमारे पास इन्वायरमेंट हो जो इसको इंश्योर करे कि आपका डाटा को हम यूज़ करके कहीं पे डिस्प्ले नहीं करेंगे या किसी को इन्फॉर्म नहीं करेंगे. एंड वी आर वेरी सीरियस पीपल एंड वी वांट टू बिल्ड द मॉडल विद द रियल डाटा, एंड देन दिस इज़ पॉसिबल. तो दिस इज़ द इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया दैट वी मस्ट फोकस इन दिस एरिया, दैट हमारे पास कोई ऐसे रूल्स और रेगुलेशन हो जिससे हम एंड यूज़र को इंश्योर कर सकें कि जो आपका डाटा है वो हम किसी और पर्पज़ के लिए यूज़ करेंगे, मॉडल को ट्रेन करने के लिए पर्पज़ करेंगे. सेकंड इज़ दैट वो जो डाटा आप जब ट्रेन भी करके जब डाटा को आप ले रहे होते हैं तो हमें बहुत से ऐसे देखते हैं मशीन लर्निंग के, अभी भी स्टिल देयर आर लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस. तो उनका सवाल ये होता है कि जब भी आपको एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि जब हम डाटा को एक्वायर करते हैं तो उस डाटा को मॉडल बनाने के लिए मशीन लर्निंग में बेसिकली हमें दो किस्म के इवेंट्स चाहिए होते हैं. एक तो नॉर्मल कंडीशन पे जो डाटा होते हैं और एक वो जो फॉल्ट वाले कंडीशन होते हैं. तो फॉल्ट वाले कंडीशन का जो डाटा होता है वो नॉर्मली बहुत कम माइनर होता है क्योंकि क्लास इम्बैलेंस एक बड़ा एक मशहूर चैलेंज है मशीन लर्निंग का. तो इस तरह के डाटा नॉर्मली अगर आपसे मांगे भी तो वो डाटा आपको प्रोवाइड कर देते हैं कि जो नॉर्मल कंडीशन को वो फॉल्ट को छुपाते हैं. तो जब आप फॉल्ट ही डाटा में नहीं देंगे तो हाउ इट पॉसिबल कि मैं मॉडल को बेहतर तरीके से बना सकूंगा. तो इसके लिए डेफिनेटली मैं समझता हूँ कि फर्दर इनोवेशन के जब हम जाना चाहते हैं अगर फ्यूचर में इफ वांट टू मूव इन दैट डायरेक्शन, तो ऐसी कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या इस तरह के हमारे पास रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन होना चाहिए जो उस चीज़ को इंश्योर करें कि जो डाटा जो मॉडल बनाने वाला डेवलपमेंट के साइड के लोग हैं वो इस चीज़ को इंश्योर करेंगे कि इनके डाटा लीक नहीं होगा या डाटा सिक्योर रहेगा, और जो देने वाले भी हैं वो भी अपना रियल डाटा जो है वो देंगे. तभी हम इस पोजीशन में आ सकते हैं कि इस तरह के जो बड़े क्रिटिकल किस्म के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होते हैं जहाँ पर हम अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. और इसकी बेतहाशा से एप्लीकेशंस है, क्योंकि अभी तक तो हमने इसकी एजुकेशन और दूसरे साइड पे एआई की एप्लीकेशन देखी, लेकिन आप इंडस्ट्री की साइड पे आप जाकर देखें तो एक दिन अगर प्लांट हमारा बंद हो जाता तो तकरीबन 35 करोड़ का नुकसान होता है एक दिन, अगर मेंटेनेंस पे प्लांट चले जाते हैं। तो 1100 के 2 प्लांट लगे 22,000 मेगावाट के इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं। एंड वी आर स्टिल यूजिंग कंजर्वेटिव मेथड्स टू रन द प्लांट्स, नॉट आवर प्लांट, जितने भी ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड जो हमारे प्लांट्स रहते हैं वो सेफ्टी को फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी देते हैं, तो इसलिए अभी तक ये प्रॉब्लिस्टिक अप्रोच को नहीं अडॉप्ट करते हैं। उसकी बुनियादी रीजन मैंने यही बताया कि दे डोंट हैव एनी ट्रस्ट because they don't want to share their data. So the first thing is that we must have some organizations, some rules and regulations so that we can ensure our end user that their data will be safe and we will use that data for useful purpose, and we will provide you a better models and setups so that your maintenance work or this और आपको ऐसे सिस्टम मिल सकते हैं जिससे आप अच्छा एक डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम बना सकते हैं। तो ये इसमें एक बड़ी चैलेंज जो मैंने आपको बताया है कि एंड यूजर की तरफ से डाटा के लिए, तो इस तरह की मैं समझता हूँ कि हमें कल्चर डेफिनेटली अडॉप्ट करना चाहिए। आई थिंक मैंने काफ़ी डिटेल में आंसर दिया।
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to take a moment here and welcome our Honorable Vice President Academics, Professor Dr. Altaf Muqati, sir. Thank you for joining us. Moving forward, if there is any question or any discussion from the audience.
Yes, thank you so much. My name is Kashif and I used to teach biology in this university, which is primarily a management science and computer science university. So just to give you a different flavor, since both the panelists has emphasized on ethics, and there was one question about the use of AI by the students. Well, I am confused, to be very honest. I personally feel that probably or definitely we need to redefine the ethics while we are talking about the use of AI in academics and in research. Yesterday we have an ethical review committee over here, so lots of ethics was discussed. But I just wanted to give you a few examples. For example, we are concerned that our students are using AI like ChatGPT and many other tools that are available to solve the assignments, to do the things that has been assigned to them, और एक स्टूडेंट होने के नाते उन्हें खुद करना चाहिए ये काम. This is what we believe as a teacher, and I believe जितने यहाँ बैठे हुए हम सबका ये ख्याल है. But I have attended, I got a chance to attend many of the courses that are offered by Harvard and other big universities. They are not in such discussion and debate. They are simply saying that अगर आप कोई AI का tool use कर रहे हैं तो आप उसका prompt हमारे साथ share करें. In fact, they are teaching their students how to write an efficient and effective prompt. तो मुझे ये ethics की debate, particularly in academics, मुझे समझ में नहीं आती. आज तक, अभी तक हम यही बहस किए जा रहे हैं कि नहीं स्टूडेंट्स को हमने अलाउ नहीं करना, ये तो AI को यूज़ कर रहे हैं, इनकी अपनी क्रिएटिविटी का क्या होगा. I believe writing an effective prompt is also required a lot of creativity. So this is one point, आप इस पे अमेंड कर सकते हैं. Second is, since it's all about industry and the business, हम यहाँ स्टूडेंट्स को शायद AI सिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. डॉक्टर सजाद इज रनिंग अ वेरी गुड डिपार्टमेंट. क्या इंडस्ट्री इस बात के लिए राज़ी है जिस तरह फैकल्टी या टीचर तो राज़ी नहीं है कि हम स्टूडेंट्स को अलाउ करेंगे कि वो AI को यूज़ करें? क्या इंडस्ट्री इस बात के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड है कि उनका एम्प्लॉई AI को यूज़ करके अपनी जॉब परफॉर्म करें? आई मीन इंडस्ट्री को भी ये इशू होगा ना कि यार मैंने आपके लिए आपको रखा टू परफॉर्म समथिंग बट यू आर डूइंग इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ AI. तो वेयर इज योर स्किल्स, वेयर इज योर कैपेबिलिटीज? तो दिस इज व्हाट आई वांटेड टू लर्न एंड अंडरस्टैंड पर्टिकुलरली इन दिस डिस्कशन. क्या करने की ज़रूरत है? क्या हम इंडस्ट्री को समझाएं कि AI कोई डेविल नहीं है, या हम पहले अपने आप को समझाएं कि वी आर नॉट डीलिंग विद समथिंग जो कि हमारे लिए प्रॉब्लमेटिक है? व्हाट नीड्स टू बी डन? और आखिरी बात, एकेडमिक की बात हो रही, इंडस्ट्री की बात हो रही, और ऑल्सो अबाउट रिसर्च. I mean, this year, since I am from biology, तो मेडिसिन एंड फिजियोलॉजी का जो नोबेल प्राइज मिला है, उन साइंटिस्ट ने भी AI का इस्तेमाल किया था. एक काम जो कि बीइंग अ बायोलॉजिस्ट शायद मुझे करने में हफ्तों या महीनों लगते थे, आई कैन डू इट इन आवर्स. सो क्यों AI के इस्तेमाल को इतना क्रिटिसाइज किया जाता है, और क्या हम इसको ओवर क्रिटिसाइज तो नहीं कर रहे? क्या ये एक हर्डल या एक ब्लॉकेट तो नहीं है AI के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में हमारी डेली लाइफ में? तो एनीवन कैन कमेंट, एंड थैंक यू सो मच.
जी, बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Thank you very much for organizing such a big Colicum. Everywhere people are talking about AI. Yesterday I was at Lahore School of Lahore Business School, and again it was the seminar. It was a big program related to AI and many things. So many international organizers and many international participants came to attend, and so certainly when you take part in such conferences, so you also learn something from them. सबसे पहले तो मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि ये आपने कोलिकम आपने अरेंज किया, और इससे इतने इम्पोर्टेंट और जो रियल वर्ल्ड सिचुएशन है AI की, उस पे आपने डेफिनेटली डिस्कस किया होगा. आई एम सॉरी टू मिस द अर्लियर पार्ट ऑफ दिस. AI जो है ये बज़वर्ड भी है, एंड द problems which you have raised, Dr. Kashif Ali, देखें AI जो है वो अभी तो फर्स्ट जनरेशन में है हमें इसकी. There are 2 next generations to come, and I am very pleased that Dr. नदीम ने जो comments दिए हैं, Dr. नदीम से मेरा बहुत पुराना रिश्ता है. ये मेरे स्टूडेंट थे 98 में थे कराची यूनिवर्सिटी में. So I am very pleased to see that my students are now mashallah have grown up and have done the PhD in AI. AI can never take the place of human intelligence, that's for sure. एक बात आप ज़हन में रखें, there is a lot of apprehensions that perhaps in the 3rd generation of AI, which is just about 3 or 4 years away from today, maybe earlier, that people think that perhaps AI will take over human intelligence. But this will never happen, I can tell you. This is against the nature, वो जिसे हम कहते हैं ना उर्दू में, जो खालिक है वो मालिक है, So Allah has created this universe and we are His creations. So creations cannot take the place of a creator. Similarly, people are apprehended that perhaps tomorrow in the 3rd generation of AI, robots will drive us. No, it will not be the case. AI will always remain the subset of HI. HI will always be superior, and I can tell you, I can give you many examples of it. जो सबसे बड़ा important part है, जो हमें inculcate करना है हमारी पूरी generations को हमारे education system में, वो है कि AI का use करें मगर misuse ना करें, ठीक है? It was very deliberated yesterday in the about 3 hours long discussions among the other speakers came from UK, US, and other. So what is needed today, and that is missing in the developed countries as well. Okay, first we have to teach our students about the ethical practices. Although it is always required, but now after the advancement of AI, it is very important that all our students at undergrad level or even lower than at the college level as well, we should teach the ethical values, ethical practices and everything. Because there are many places in which you can do the manipulations in AI. When you implement AI, there are various stages. जैसे डॉक्टर नदीम ने कहा डेटा है, एल्गोरिदम है और ट्रेनिंग है. ये उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के फेजेस हैं, और यहाँ पर आप बाइसेस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. डेटा में भी बाइसेस हो सकता है, एल्गोरिदम में बाइसेस हो सकता है, आपकी ट्रेनिंग में बाइसेस हो सकता है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दोज बाइसेस you're going to get the lot of ethical issues, several issues, ethical issues होंगे. तो biasing जहाँ भी होगी, and unfortunately in our system, in our country, people try to find the shortcuts, people try to find the way which is not considered to be the natural way of progressing or natural way of advancement, but they find the shortcuts, and because of that, I am afraid that if we do not train our students about the basic, ethics and basic values, then I am afraid that perhaps AI will going to create the disaster for all of us. I can give you one example. For example, automobile. Suppose people are the industries, automobile industries are now designing driverless car, autonomous car. Now, in the case of autonomous car, if suppose any severe accident happens or a crash condition, what we say, so who will be the priority? Will it save the passengers or will it save the pedestrians? This is an ethical issue, So I have a list of hundreds of such areas where if we are not ethical, so it is going to bring the disaster. Same in research, same in everywhere, Use of AI and depending on AI are two different things. For example, I can tell you that our forefathers, 30-40 years ago, when there were no calculators, they were using the mind, their mind skills, their natural skills to do the basic calculations. Now, after the calculators are with us, so for a very simple calculations, we use the calculators. So by doing this, we have lost our mental skills or our natural skills. So if we keep on depending AI that much, so definitely we'll be going to lose our natural skills. Okay? And I think that I can talk a lot on this, but one thing that may be interested for you all people, आप लोगों ने वो आजकल कोई सॉफ्टवेयर को वेरीफाई करना होता है या कोई, तो उसमें एक आप टेबल यूज़ करते हैं, इसमें वो रोड्स की कंडीशंस और सारा दिया हुआ होता है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव यूज्ड दिस? आई थिंक एवरीबडी. उसमें आपने आइडेंटिफाई करना होता है कि ब्रिजेस कहाँ हैं, तो उसको आप क्लिक करें तो वो आप वेरीफाई हो जाते हैं, या क्रॉस रोड्स कहाँ पर हैं, या व्हीकल्स, बड़ी व्हीकल्स कहाँ पर हैं. तो आपने कभी सोचा है कि ये सिर्फ ये रोड्स और ये व्हीकल्स और ये क्यों होता है, और तस्वीरें क्यों नहीं आती इसमें? एनीबडी मे हैव अ वेरी गुड आंसर. इट्स अ न्यू थिंग विच आई ऑल्सो हैव कम टू नो रिसेंटली. क्या चीज़ है वो? ये जो आ रही है स्क्वायर बने हुए आते हैं कि इन ऑर्डर टू वेरीफाई योर सेल्फ यू हैव टू क्लिक द क्वेश्चन, find the crossroads in the blocks, and then you have supposed to tick that.
And by the way,
no, I am just asking what is the logic behind it.
And this would also change as well, because अभी आप देखें, there was an article, एक जॉब वेबसाइट थी, AI एजेंट ने जाके 800 जॉब्स के ऊपर उस पर अप्लाई किया, and there were 24 interviews where that AI agent landed. राइट, इतना लंबा किसी भी वेबसाइट पे जॉब का एक प्रोसेस होता है. ये तो आप कैप्चर की बात कर रहे हैं कि जहाँ पे जी एग्जैक्टली आप कर रहे थे, पर AI agents have gone way ahead today, so they have all beaten humans in things. For example, driverless कार है, अगर वो रोड क्रॉस रोड नहीं पहचान सकता था तो ड्राइवरलेस कार नहीं बनती सर.
तरफ आ रहा हूँ.
इट इज ऑलरेडी देयर. अब उसमें जो इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है वो ये है कि ड्राइवरलेस कार तो बहुत सालों से एग्जिस्ट करती है, डिफरेंट जगहों पर चलने लग गई. अबू धाबी में जिस तरह आ गया कि जी आपको एयरपोर्ट से पिक करके फलाने आइलैंड तक लेके जाएगी, वो कल उन्होंने अनाउंस कर दिया है. सिंगापुर में पायलट काफ़ी अरसे से चल रहा है, सैन फ्रांसिस्को में चल रहा है. अब वो ड्राइवरलेस कार की जो हम पर्टिकुलर एग्जांपल लेते हैं, सो इट इज़ फिल्ड विद मशीन लर्निंग एंड डीप लर्निंग आर्किटेक्चर. एक मशीन जो है वो बड़ा क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई कर रही है, सड़क को नेविगेट कर रही है. द पॉइंट जो आपने ज़बरदस्त बात की सर वो ये थी कि इस बात की अभी तक कोई गारंटी और ओनरशिप लेने को तैयार नहीं है कि कल अगर एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा. इसका मतलब है कि इतना रिस्की AI का यूज़ केस है जिसको प्रोहिबिटेड किया गया है इन मैनी कंट्रीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, और अभी सिर्फ 2-3 जगह पे इसका एज वी स्पीक पायलट जो है वो एग्जीक्यूशन पे है. दूसरा, इसका अगर आप फ्लिप साइड देखें थर्ड वर्ल्ड मार्केट्स हैं। पाकिस्तान में आज भी आपके पास दरवाज़ा खोलने के लिए कोई बंदा खड़ा हुआ है, लिफ्ट चलाने के लिए कोई बंदा खड़ा हुआ है। आपके पास इतनी बड़ी वर्क फोर्स है, तो ड्राइवर्स जो हैं दे आर इन मिलियंस इन दैट वर्क फोर्स। इसका एक इन्वायरमेंटल इम्पैक्ट है, गवर्नमेंट्स को देखना है। बिकॉज अगर ड्राइवरलेस कार बन गई है, कल आप यहाँ पाकिस्तान में ले आते हैं और हम सब ड्राइवरलेस कार ले लेते हैं, और देर आर मिलियंस ऑफ पीपल विच विल गो अनएम्प्लॉयड इन वन सिंगल डे, तो उसके बाद वो क्या करेंगे? फिर क्राइम रेट आपका बढ़ेगा। आप उसको रीस्किल करके शायद एआई का इंजीनियर तो नहीं बना सकते एक ड्राइवर को। सो इट्स अ लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोसेस कि जी किस मुल्क में, किस जगह पे, किस सोसाइटी में कब टेक्नोलॉजी लैंड करेगी। सो इन नटशेल टेक्नोलॉजी कैन डू थिंग्स, बट इट डजंट रियली मीन के इट शुड बी डूइंग ऑल दोज थिंग्स। मैं काशिफ साहब की बात पर सिर्फ एक चीज़ ऐड करूँगा। सर, जो आपने बात की ना कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है, 2018 में 3 लोगों को एआई का ट्यूरिंग अवार्ड मिला था। आप लोग एकेडमिया से हैं, आपको पता है, पढ़ लीजिएगा। आई वुड नॉट गो इनटू दैट डिबेट। उन 3 लोगों में से 2 लोगों, एंड दोज 3 आर कॉल्ड गॉडफादर्स ऑफ एआई, 2018 में जिनको अवार्ड मिला है, वहाँ पे उन 3 लोगों में स्प्लिट है, एआई और नो एआई। There is a school of thought which thinks कि AI should progress. I personally belong to that school of thought. और कि AI progress करे, ethical way में use हो. But then there is a school of thought कि नहीं जी अभी इसको रोकें, इसके ऊपर vigilance की और guard rails की और laws की आने की बड़ी सख्त ज़रूरत है. It could have a destruction. So I think the split exists in the industry. What you asked, you already answered that. So I would not answer that. आपने कहा कि जी यहाँ पे एक यूनिवर्सिटी एक्सक्यूज मी एआई पे असाइनमेंट्स नहीं करने दे रही, पर हार्वर्ड जो लीडिंग यूनिवर्सिटी है वो कह रही है करो, तो आपने उस चीज़ को खुद ही आई थिंक आंसर कर दिया। फिर हमें कहा गया कि जी एआई वर्क प्लेस में एम्बेड हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता। आपने खुद ही बता दिया कि पिछले साल फिजिक्स और जो एआई के अवार्ड मिले हैं, जिन अवार्ड्स मिले हैं वो फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री की रिसर्च के ऊपर मिले हैं। शायद मेरी नॉलेज गलत हो, फिर फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री का मैंने ज़रूर पढ़ा था। आई कैन डबल चेक ऑन दैट वन। हैविंग सेड दैट, एक बिजनेस डोमेन है, एक डोमेन विच इज़ अ नॉन टेक डोमेन, उसके ऊपर अगर एआई के अवार्ड्स जा रहे हैं ग्लोबल, इसका मतलब है एआई इज़ देयर टू हेल्प द बिजनेसेस। सो ग्रेट थॉट्स, थैंक यू।
मैं इसका एक मैं क्योंकि आई स्टार्टेड माय क्वेश्चन विद कैप्चा, वो कैप्चा जो होता है जिसको आप वेरीफाई करते हैं, इट्स इज इंटरेस्ट फॉर ऑल ऑफ द ऑडियंस हियर। ये एक्चुअली प्रोजेक्ट है ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्रीज़ यूएसए का, कि दे आर ट्रेनिंग देयर मशीन्स विद योर डेटा। ये बिलियंस ऑफ लोग डेली जो है वेरीफाई करते हैं क्रॉस रोड कौन सा है, ब्रिजेस कौन से हैं। तो एक्चुअली वो जो एआई बेस्ड मोटर व्हीकल बनाना चाहते हैं, उससे अपने उसको आपके डेटा के ज़रिए दे आर ट्रेनिंग देयर मशीन, दे आर ट्रेनिंग देयर सिस्टम। So this is one thing, and in the third generation, maybe 2-3 years later, when AI-driven car will be available. But certainly in Pakistani condition, like you said, वहाँ पर तो कैप्चा में वो सड़कें टूटी हुई भी दिखानी चाहिए कि where you find this broken streets and everything. तो हमारे लिए वो कैप्चा नहीं है, वो कैप्चा एडवांस कंट्रीज के लिए है।
Thank you for your input, sir. Moving towards our last panelist of this session, Dr. Sajjad Haider Rizvi. Sir, I would like to ask you two question. Basically, I want to learn from you. The very first question for you is that how can education systems evolve to prepare the next generation for an AI-powered world? And the second question is, in what ways can policymakers better engage with technologists to shape future-ready AI regulations? What's your thought on that, sir?
Thank you so very much, and I'm really grateful to all of you for joining this session. And assalamu alaikum. Basically, as we go on this discussion, we found that there are major two questions. The first one is actually about the ethical use of an AI, and the second one is about the fear of losing the workforce or the jobs. Globally, we have these two major challenges, like what we can do with the AI, what we cannot do with the AI, and are we afraid of losing the jobs because we are not that much literate with the AI? Let me put it in a very simple way without using any technical jargons or any the academic keywords. I'll try to limit myself to be very general. Since we are all from that generation that has witnessed the evolution of the ICT, that is information communication technology. If we just look 2 decades back, we have seen in early 2000 when there was an introduction of IT. Initially in that IT there was a misconception or the fear like after adopting the AI IT, are we going to lose the jobs? Or would there be any ethical challenges of using the AI, of IT? But over the time, we have witnessed that as it evolves, it works as a catalyst for variety of the application that includes but not limited to the business application, medical, education, and everything. And it took about 1.5 decades to get acquainted and familiar with the IT and get trusted on the IT. Subsequently, we have witnessed the challenges of the data protection in the IT. Initially, like if I just look at in the early 2000s, there was not that much concern about the data protection or the user privacy. We were using IT or internet specifically for browsing the websites, for chatting purpose, or just for the entertainment purpose. So we can say that the IT actually works as a catalyst for these application areas that enhances the productivity of the systems, that enhances the capacity of the system. This AI is actually a new catalyst. At this stage, yes, it is evolving. Day by day, we can witness like we are having new jargons, new tools, new applications, starting from the narrow intelligence to the general intelligence to the super intelligence to the XAI, that is explainable AI, to agentic AI, and it's actually evolving. So the first fear, like, are we going to shrink down because of the AI? That's very clear. Like, क्या हम IT आने के बाद shrink हुए? Like, is our banking system shrink because of the IT? Is our education system? Is the health system? It expands, it grows, it opens a new venue for the collaboration, for the development, for the services. Similarly, the AI is a new catalyst. IT actually took about 1.5 decades to get mature. Now we are using the banking system, that's the mobile banking, the electronic transactions, various sensitive transactions. We are relying on the IT, and we do have a trust on it. Likewise, at earlier stage, there was the concern of ethics, there was a concern of using Google for the research. Like, are we, if instead of going into the library, do we need to just search on a Google and do the research? Initially, perception ये था कि if you want to do research, you should go to the library. You should search for the journals. Subsequently, we see like, okay, fine, I can find the lots of information on just my Google page. So this took about 1.5 decades. But in terms of the AI, it's not that much long. Like, it won't take like 1.5 decades, next 1.5 decades. We are adopting the AI far better than the information technology. And obviously, it's very clear, like adopting the AI would open the new venues for the service, it increased the capacity. Second thing about, that was my take on, are we going to shrink on because of AI or not? The second thing is about the ethical consideration, which is actually a very burning question these days. One thing we need to clear that, is AI matured? No, it's evolving in nature. Like, it starts from the narrow intelligence, then we came to the general intelligence, subsequently we'll move towards the super intelligence or explainable AI. That means the overall potential of AI is still unexplored. So how can we create a fence of the ethics to a boundary that's not actually explored so far? But can we stop it here? No. There are, globally, there are the fundamental principles to design the ethical policies. For example, If we just look at AEIOU ethos of artificial intelligence, it's called AEIOU. Vowels से थोड़ा सा link है. That is, A is your accessibility, means the applications, the tools, the platforms you are making, that should be accessible, regardless of location, regardless of the ability, like even the disabled person should use it. Second, it should be equitable. E is equitable, that it should be equal for all. Like it's not like if I'm from the Pakistan, I should have a different technology, rather than if I'm from the developing country, I should have a different one. It should be equitable. It should be inclusive. I is inclusive. That includes the entire domain. That encompasses all the stakeholders. O, that should be open. O is for open. That it should be transparent. It should be visible. It should be known. Because at this point of time, you people are using a ChatGPT, you are using Perplexity, or you are using different AI applications. Are you that much concerned about your privacy? Or do we have any concern about the data protection for ourselves? We are uploading the prompts, we are uploading the files, we are uploading our own personal data as well on those applications. For example, I may be using some AI face app to just make my picture like a cartoon or something. That means at this point of time, we are just using it for fun. It's simply like using IT in the cyber cafe, just to use the IT for the chatting. Nowadays, we are just using the IT initially. Secondly, U is universal. AIOU is U is universal. Means whatever the systems are designed, that should be universal globally. That should be equal for the whole world. So these AIOU ethos are there that are making the policies, the framework. The AIOU is actually the framework. The second thing is about the policies. We know that policy, devising of a policy has different philosophical method. Like for example, one of the approach is policy by design. A policy by design is simply like we are making a policy that is essential at this point of time. And then we increase the scope of the policy. We are familiar with the AI up till the generative AI, so we can create a policy up till generative AI. In the later stage, we'll have some explainable AI. Definitely, we need to encompass the explainable AI in that as well. That means the policy framework, it should be policy ethics by design. It's like you cannot encompass the entire ethics of things in one policy manual. Another approach that we use is a sandbox approach. A sandbox approach is if you are basically making a policy or a framework, so definitely you are starting it from the small scale and you expand it. Instead of being constrained in the initial state, it should be flexible, it should be evolutionary. That basically approach is basically we call the sandbox approach. And this is the same approach that Pakistan is also adopting. Like most of you are very much familiar with the Regulation Artificial Intelligence Act 2024. It has been submitted for the approval. We have, if you just go to the Ministry of IT website, you would find the National Artificial Intelligence Policy Framework. They have 6 pillars in that and they are working on those. Up till 2027, they have defined the policy framework. So that means defining the ethics at this point of time is to the ultimate level. Definitely it would not be logical. Rather, we should follow the ethics by design philosophy, sandbox approach to design the principle. The second thing is adoption of the AI. We are adopting the AI starting from our academics and then we are moving towards the industry as well. But there are some challenges, like the major stakeholder is academia, technologist, and the policymaker. There is a general management science के लोग मुझसे ज़्यादा बेहतर जानते हैं. We call it our technology policy fellowship program. A technology fellowship program is something like you put technologists in the place of a policy making and a policy maker in the environment of a technologist, so that they could understand like what actually are the major challenges, what are the major constraints for that. A university is playing a part to taking a technologist and the policy makers on board. It is found to be deficient, like at this stage, the identification of a stakeholder is still found to be deficient. Like who are actually the major stakeholder for this application. But over the time, it gets evolved. But to be very true, it won't take next 1.5 decade like IT. It would be like maybe some couple of years. Regarding our academics, it is very important to first train your workforce for it. Like we first should train our faculty to how they can use the AI. They can introduce the artificial intelligence, the use of AI in different disciplines, like a biomedical can use it, the education can use it, the social sciences can use it. But using AI, having only the free tools, it is found to be very limited. Like if you are comparing the potential of having professional tools, I would call it the subscribed tools, it's far better than the free one. Because your capacity, your potential is limited for those free tools. And the good thing is, because of this competitive market of AI, like we are having dozens of applications every day. So there is a competitive market. The tools are not that much expensive. At this point of time, like initially you have spent you have invested on yourself, on your faculty for the training. Like जब हमने इंटरनेट यूज करना शुरू किया, घर में कंप्यूटर भी लेके आए, इंटरनेट भी लगाया, that was our investment on us, and that investment actually trained us. We need to think: are we making an investment to familiarize ourselves with the AI? It is found to be very deficient. Secondly, the last thing that I just would like to share is once your faculty is trained. Like for example, they are using AI for making complex problems, for the design issue, for making the assessment rubrics. It's like you are basically preparing them not just to acquire the information. Basically, you have the bundle of data available on the internet. It's a massive one. We need to translate that data into actually the information. And then information would be translated into the knowledge. Unfortunately, we are spending lots of our efforts and the hard work just to transforming the data into an information. And the AI is actually saying where the knowledge begins. We are using Google's, Perplexity, everything just to give us the information. And let the human decide how can this information can be translated into an information. Sir का जो जावेद साहब का एक सवाल था कि जी models. Sir, there are platforms like Hugging Face, as Gibran Saab said, there is Langflow, there is LangChain. There are many repositories. Only on the Hugging Face, we have about 1.5 million LLMs uploaded. Many of them are the open source, many of them are proprietary. जो आप 50 की बात कर रहे हैं, those 50 are actually the proprietary one. But we have 1.5 million LLMs available on Hugging Face. We have about 1 million data sets, open source, publicly available data sets available on the Hugging Face. And this is only the one repository. We have a Langflow, we have a LangChain, these are the other repositories. So just on the closing note, it's we should not get afraid of AI. It's not our competitor, it's actually our friends. Like IT is not like your competitor at this point of time, it's actually your friend. So that's from my side.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Before concluding this session, as we already had questions and we are very limited in time, so on this note, I must say this is not just a discussion. This is actually a call to action. and the insights that has been generated here today in this session, during this session from our esteemed panelists and by our participants. I will definitely say this is the informed thing to develop the practical frameworks and the recommendations for policymakers, technologists, and educators. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us in this session.